How you doing tonight? My name is Don J. Daniels, and the topic I'll be discussing tonight is stopping human trafficking. The specific purpose to my speech is to persuade my audience that human trafficking should end and move them to a call to action. One evening, a 15-year-old named Debbie got a call from her friend Bianca, who asked her to stop by her house. Debbie went outside to meet her friend Bianca, and as Bianca pulled up, there were two older men in the back of her car. After a few minutes of visiting, Debbie tried to leave. As Debbie tried to go give Bianca a hug, Bianca pushed Debbie into the car, and Debbie was taken to her apartment where she was later drugged and gang raped. The Compensated Emancipation Act was signed in 1862 by Abraham Lincoln and ended slavery, but yet more than 1 million people are still enslaved today. According to the International Labor Organization, 40.3 million victims of human trafficking are trafficked every year globally. 81% of them are trapped in forced labor, 25% of them are children, and 75% of them are women and girls. Modern day trafficking is a type of slavery that involves the transport or trade for the purpose of sexual exploration using force, violence, fraud, or forced labor. According to the UN, about 2.5 million people around the world are ensnared in the web of human trafficking at any given time. Human trafficking impacts people of all backgrounds, all nationalities, and people are trafficked for a variety of purposes. Not all slaves are trafficked though, but all victims are victims of slavery. We are all connected in this world, and we are all given rights to live the lives we choose, but unfortunately, some are not as blessed as others. Even our brothers and sisters that's affected by human trafficking can be taken from us at any moment. Now, let's examine the controversy surrounding stopping human trafficking and answer as many questions as possible about this awful topic. What is the leading cause for sexual trafficking, some ask? According to the New York Times, children in institutional care, including government-run facilities, can be easy targets for traffickers. This was concluded through the department's annual Trafficking of Persons report in 2018. How does trafficking affect society? Criminalizing the sex industry's ideal conditions for rampant exploration of abusive sex workers is believed that trafficking women can be stopped only by acknowledging prostitution. Prostitution must be recognized for it. Prostitution is a big effect. It plays a big part in society because many people, many women, many people who are in prostitution rings are sex workers. They're trafficked. They don't do that because they want to do it. They're trafficked. They're forced to do it. According to the Polaris Project, there are a few online platforms which offer commercial sex, but a widespread online market page is Backpage. Backpage was closed down in January 2017 due to pressure of the Senate, but Backpage accounts for more than 1,300 cases of trafficking and remains the driving force in global sexual exploration. 1,300 cases off one website. According to the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, nearly all crimes committed, male offenders vastly outweigh female offenders. So it's not just males and females. It's not just males, it's males and females in human trafficking. On average, 10 to 15% of convicted offenders are women. For trafficking in persons, however, even though males still comprise of a vast majority, their women counterparts share 30%. So, according to the UNODC, there are still very few convictions in trafficking of persons. 4 out of every 10 people that are caught for trafficking are convicted. Only 4 out of 10. So if you have 10 people, if you arrest 10 people for trafficking, only 4 are likely to be convicted. 15% of yearly convictions, 15% are never convicted. Eradicating human trafficking must happen. Let's look at a few solutions to this problem and what we can do. Economic empowerment can help with poverty and can help with the lack of financial resources and lack of employment opportunities, because a vast majority of people that are human trafficked are in poverty. So everyone should be on an equal playing field and have equal medical attention, resources, schooling, and platforms to make their lives better. I feel as though GAP programs will help people who fall short in these areas and will help people get and figure out the next steps they need to take to move forward in life. Law enforcement need to be trained on how to spot human trafficking, because somebody can just be walking by and be human trafficked and they not even notice it. And they need to figure out where some of these girls are actually at that are missing, instead of just putting them on flyers and not really looking for them. Officers need to be trained better, and people need to be trained better to be aware of their surroundings. There also should be monitored shelters for people who are victims of trafficking and try to escape but have nowhere to go, because majority of people want to escape but have nowhere to go, so they don't even escape. So a summary of this whole thing, in final consideration, stopping human trafficking is possible. All the states have shown decrease through racial and ethnic groups of human trafficking who have put forth an effort. With the help of law enforcement, it can change the effect of human trafficking and save numerous lives of victims. Human trafficking increases economic equality and violates human rights, affecting the lives of millions, directly and indirectly. Innocent young lives are being used by people to collect money in condoning sexual conduct. And my final fix, if Debbie was never kidnapped at the age of 15, then maybe, just maybe, she would have never had all those psychological, mental, and physical issues that she occurs today because of that incident that left trauma in her. Human trafficking is real and goes on every single day. For more information on human trafficking, or if you have information regarding someone who you feel is suspected being human trafficked anywhere in the United States, or a child outside of Florida, you can call the National Human Trafficking Resource Hotline at 1-888-373-7888, or text HELP or to 233-733, or text HELP to be free. To get help for victims and human survivors, or human trafficking survivors, or connect with local services for them. And last but not least, it is time to put an end to human trafficking and help those in need who have suffered from human trafficking, who have got away, who haven't got away, but it's time to end it all together. And the reason I say this is because every life matters, including yours. Just remember that. Thank you.